How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to a bonus video for Pokémon Snap. So, the first thing I want to talk about in this bonus episode for Pokémon Snap is the gallery. In the very first episode, or the second episode, actually no, it was the first one, I remember now. I went into the gallery when I was gonna, talk about and change my options. I want to head in there again now, because there's some actually better things we can do in here now instead of just visiting the Pokémon report for one measly little thing. So, first and foremost, we can choose our favorite shots from the report and album, and this is something nice that we can do even further with something else I want to talk about later on in this bonus video. In fact, I'll probably end up segueing from this part of the bonus video to the next part. So, we can go into the Pokémon report, and we can see our best photo of every single Pokémon that is in this game, all 63 of them. And we can just scroll through. I think it even includes the Pokémon signs as well, so we can basically get every best photo we've taken of every single Pokémon. And let's see, includes the legendary birds, and it does indeed include the signs. Alright, cool. So yeah, we can go ahead and do that. We can back out of this. If we go over to arrange, we can choose any of these 4 photos that are right here, and we could, mess around with them. We can move them any which way we want, and so on and so forth. I will not be doing that though, because instead I will be going to enlarge, and you actually get a nice little shot of a full screen shot, I should say, or pretty close to full screen for the aspect ratio, a full screen shot of the different photos you took, and you can do it for each and every one of these photos. I think I want to go to the Pokemon report, because I think I need to actually click on one of these photos? Yes, okay, so if I click on Snorlax, I can put Snorlax right there. Yeah, why not? Alright, so let's see, which other Pokemon do I want to put on this Pokemon report? Dragonite was pretty good, so I think I'll put Dragonite there.
Yes.
Yeah, not bad. What other ones should I do? Let's see. I have to go all the way back this way in order to do it. What are some of my best photos? Honestly, the Gyarados is pretty good, but it's pretty cliche to include, like, Gyarados, Dragonite, and Charizard, because I honestly was thinking of putting Charizard there, too. It's pretty cliche to do that, so it's so hard because those actually are my best photos. But you know what, actually, this Meowth is pretty good, so I think I'm gonna put Meowth there. And the last one, maybe I'll put a different one instead of Dragonite. It'll be hard, though, because I really, really like the Dragonite photo. Oh, okay, not so good. There we go. Place it over the Butterfree, because I really like that Bulbasaur. You know what? I know it's cliche, but I think I'll keep Dragonite. And of course, you can go ahead and enlarge again, or rather, I will enlarge again so I can get a better photo of this Dragonite. Yeah, it's so good seeing it actually crisp and without any HUD on top of it. Alright, back out of that. And, I'll save this, why not? Sure. And, it's gonna immediately back out to the title screen. So the next thing that I guess I'll be talking about, to segue from this, is a neat little thing that was available at the time of Pokémon Snap being released on the Nintendo 64, something that would allow you to actually print out your photos in Blockbuster stores. Man, just saying the word Blockbuster out loud for the first time in forever after dealing with Netflix, Hulu, and all these other streaming services after so long, man, it feels so nostalgic to say. So, Nintendo ended up teaming up with Blockbuster video rental stores with creating kiosks that would make photos that you took on a rented or purchased copy of Pokémon Snap for the Nintendo 64. You can insert your cartridge into the kiosk, and you'd be able to print out actual photos of the Pokémon you snapped in the game on their respective sticker sheets. I should also mention that these kiosks weren't just to promote Pokemon Snap, they were also part of an actual contest in which if you submitted your best shot sticker stamp with an entry form to Nintendo, you could win a trip to Australia for up to 4 people for the grand prize. It was actually a really nice concept. Other non-grand prize prizes included a camera, $100, and a special Pikachu yellow Game Boy. Pretty cool. However, I should mention that these Snap stations weren't exactly free because you would need to purchase a smart card for $3 that had some credits on them that you could use. Kind of similar to the old international phone cards. I say old as if there probably aren't any that still exist today. Maybe not, I don't know. A lot of things are more global for phones nowadays. Anyway, after you purchase the smart card, you redeem your credits, you pop in the N64 cartridge, and then you could scroll through all of your photos. And then you pick your best photos, I believe 4, kind of like how in the menu just now it showed 4 different photos, and you would be able to print out 16 photo stickers, 4 of each Pokemon that you chose. There's a super cool video by Leonhardt that I really want to highlight for this specifically because he purchased his own kiosk with a bunch of smart cards, and he actually did a complete walkthrough showing the process of entering the credits, printing out stickers, and it's just really cool. And in fact, these kiosks are like very expensive now. If you were to scour them on like eBay and stuff, they go for like $1,000 or more. And it's just really cool that a part of history still lives on. Going back to that Leonhardt video I mentioned, which I obviously will leave down below in the description, it's really cool because it's like a pristine kiosk after 20 years. It's really awesome to see how just in great shape it is. Really awesome video, I recommend you check it out. Unfortunately though, these Snap stations didn't really last too long because they ended up being rebranded when Pokemon Stadium came out in 2000. Still though, it's a really nice part of history that I really wanted to highlight. Now, obviously, I wish I had the means in order to grab one of those Snap stations for myself in order to show it off myself, but I don't. So, I have the next best thing, and that is my printer. And with that out of the way, there's only really the development history of Pokemon Snap left to go over. However, there is one more thing that I do want to show off before then. So, if I were to open the Virtual Console menu, I could choose the option to read the instruction manual. As with most Virtual Console releases from Nintendo, they include the original manual that was included with the original release of the game. It takes like a minute to load it though through their browser, which sucks, but yeah, it has the original manual all right here with a bunch of information pertaining to the game. Really, really awesome. And now that you've viewed the original manual to Pokemon Snap, now we can talk about the development history. In order to talk about the development history of Pokemon Snap, we need to go back all the way to the beginning, and that is with the original pitch for the game, Jack and the Beanstalk, named after the English fairy tale of the same name. It's not really clear when the Jack and the Beanstalk game first began development, but it was shown off in February 1995, a year before the Japanese release of the Nintendo 64, and that was the last time the game was ever heard from again. No screenshots or videos have been publicly released about it, and little is really known about what the game looked or played like. However, it is speculated that some gameplay elements ended up in the cancelled Earthbound 64, which started development in 1994, but was cancelled in 2000. In addition to the original concept of the game was also originally intended for the Nintendo 64 disk drive, a peripheral for the original Nintendo 64. After it became clear that development of the Jack and the Beanstalk game wasn't really going anywhere, the idea arose to turn it into a Pokémon spin-off. Former Nintendo president and CEO Satoru Iwata, one of the producers of the game, mentioned in a 2010 Iwata Asks that originally Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64 system wasn't a Pokemon game, but rather a normal game in which you took photos. But the motivation for playing the game wasn't very clear, and they wondered what players would enjoy taking pictures of, and later on, they made a somewhat forced switch to taking pictures of Pokemon. Masanobu Yamamoto, one of the original character designers, initially had a negative reaction to the switch to taking photos of Pokemon, since it meant that a lot of work that he'd put into the project had to be scrapped. He eventually realized the change was for the better though, saying, "That time, adopting the Pokemon world clarified what we should do and the direction we should head, and I came to like Pokemon, so I felt like that had saved us." And that isn't even all of the information regarding the original Jack and the Beanstalk pitch, because Shigesato Itoi, the creator of the Mother/Earthbound series, posted a 5-part article about Jack and the Beanstalk on his website, which I will link down below in the description. The series of interviews includes various people that were involved with the game, including Satoru Iwata and Shigeru Miyamoto. Despite the switch in development from Jack and the Beanstalk to Pokemon Snap, the title initially continued to be developed with support for the Nintendo 64 disk drive. However, in January 1999, the magazine Daigenki Nintendo 64 announced that Pokemon Snap would no longer be appearing on the 64 DD, being published only on an N64 cartridge. And then 2 months later, the game came out in Japan. The concept and name of the game wasn't the only thing that ended up changing, because initially, there was a safari stage located in the beta build of Pokemon Snap. This stage was primarily in a safari setting, of course, with Pokemon that could be found in this safari stage included Pikachu, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Mankey, Snorlax, Pidgey, Meowth, and most interestingly, an Ekans. Now, Ekans didn't make it into the game's final build, of course, but if it had, it would have pushed Snap's total monster count up to 64, which could have been their original intention to coincide with the Nintendo 64. I should clarify that the Safari stage may have just been a proof of concept in the early days of development, but it's still really interesting to note that there could have been another course within the game at the end of development. And there's also another course that possibly could have been within the game as well, because in 1999, Pokemon Snap's musical composer, Ikuki Momori, posted all of the game's music tracks to her Japanese language website, including 2 unused tracks that she titled Fantastic Horror and Theme of the Horror Boss. In addition to the links to download each of these tracks, she posted 2 comments to go along with each of these titles. For the Fantastic Horror title, she wrote, "This is a tune for a stage that was cut for various reasons." And for Theme of the Horror Boss, she put, "This is a tune for the boss of a stage that was cut for various reasons." Thankfully, there's an English translation of her website that you can hear these 2 tracks still today for yourself. You need to scroll down to the post that's marked 1999 though. But going back to the horror stage, obviously, it's most likely the reason it was cut was because there were only 3 Ghost-type Pokemon at the time of this game's release, with Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. There really wasn't much choice, but they could have also included some Poison-type Pokemon like Grimer and Muck. Who really knows why this was possibly cut from the game? And that basically summarizes everything that I wanted to talk about regarding Pokemon Snap here in this bonus video. There's some other little things I could touch on, like some out-of-bounds secrets, but you should probably just go watch the Boundary Break episode, because it'd be a lot easier that way on my end. But yeah, that is it for Pokemon Snap's bonus video. Thank you again for watching this series. Thank you for all of the support. Stay tuned for the end of Pikmin for a hint at what's coming next. But until then, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.